Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special video. So, working at a disc golf company and being online, from time to time, people will send me a disc or hand me a disc to try out. And a lot of times I get really cool discs, but I don't know if I've ever gotten one as special as the one I received yesterday. Now, for a little background context, my favorite disc golfer is Anthony Barela. A lot of people know that. And Anthony Barela has become synonymous with a certain disc, as a lot of good disc golfers do over the years. You know, a lot of disc golfers will have that signature disc, the one they go to a lot, that as soon as you see them pull it out of their bag, you know, here comes a great shot. And for Anthony Barela, that disc is that yellow Luna that you see him throwing constantly. He throws it super, super far, really straight, and he's amazing with it. Well, I got the Luna. Here it is. Now, of course, this is not AB's actual exact yellow Luna. This is not the one that he throws. That's still in his bag because we want him to play well. But this is the same disc for all intents and purposes. So what makes this Luna special? Well, these Lunas, the one that AB throws, are pretty rare. And the reason being is because these are Big Z Lunas, but they were an early release of that model. So right now you can go out and you can buy a Big Z Luna. It has kind of the Luna goddess stamp on it with the big art, like all the Big Z stuff from Discraft, but that's not exactly what this disc is. This disc was the original release of Big Z. It was a limited edition release. I believe you can only get it at Ledgestone in person back in the day when that's how Ledgestone did things. And it had kind of the normal Luna stamp. You can still kind of see it's faded there, but it says limited edition up here. You can't really see it anymore. It's kind of faded, but it's still there. I was able to verify that. I actually messaged AB himself to kind of verify this disc, and at first he was like, wait a second, let me see that a little closer, but I was able to find the key marker there. And really what makes this disc so special is Discraft won't admit it, but the Luna, I think the mold has changed, because now if you throw a Big Z Luna these days, they're much more understable than they used to be. If you ever threw Tour Series Lunas back in the day, like I had a 2020 in my bag, you could throw them flat and they went really straight and then had a little fade at the end. Nowadays, they start out pretty flippy. So these discs can handle a little more torque in theory. That's why Anthony Barela is able to rip on them. So I haven't thrown this yet. By the way, shout out to Harold Andy. That is who sent me this disc. Legitimately made my day. This one has been worn in a little bit. You can see like it's Big Z, so it doesn't have any gashes in it, but it just has, you know, kind of some marks of wear. So I expect it, that means it was a good disc. It's been thrown, right? But so I expect it to flip up, but I'm hoping it just goes really straight for a long way, maybe a little bit of turn, and then just kind of drops, because I am so excited to throw this disc right now. Like, I can't wait. It feels incredible in my hand. I love the feel of the Luna. We're just gonna find out how it flies. After we get it some tosses, we'll take it out on the course. I'm at New London today, and we'll get it some on the course action. Maybe do a little Luna only. I'm on the driving range here at New London. It's cool. They have it set up for Worlds right now. They've got like bleachers behind, so you'll be able to watch players warm up. Which, if you've ever been to any kind of golf tournament, disc golf, ball golf, whatever, watching players warm up is cool because you get really up close and personal. First throw, no warm ups. I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to make it look bad right away. I'm gonna throw it on hyzer for sure, and we'll be able to see how far it goes because we got the driving range markers. Okay, that was very encouraging. So I didn't throw that particularly well. I kind of released it early and nose up, but it held that hyzer very convincingly and faded. Like, I've heard that these Lunas are overstable because, like, that's, like I said, why AB can throw them, but like, I might be able to throw this disc flat. I'm gonna have to do a bunch more throws, which I have to run out and get it every time, but that's just part of the process. All right, I feel confident that for this throw I can release it like flat and it won't just burn over. It should actually fly pretty nice, so we're gonna try that next. Okay, like a subtle turnover. It didn't really want to come back at the end per se, but yeah, that's really good news. Like, that probably had a little bit of anhyzer on it, knowing my release, and it just kind of gently turned over. This disc is going to be better than I even expected. I don't know why I thought it was going to be understable. I guess just because it's been beat in a little bit, but I guess it makes sense that it would be. I just forgot what old Lunas flew like. I'm going to try another one with a little less hyzer and really rip on it low and see if I can get it to pop up at all. All right, we're really gonna get into this one on hyzer. That shot also went about 285, which is, that makes sense to me. It's about normal for how I throw putters. All right, low and hard on hyzer. There we go. Oh yeah, it just popped right up. That was a good one. Very minimal fade as well. Yeah, this is gonna be a very point and shoot putter for me. I'm loving it. I went ahead and jumped out to the short tee here on hole 2. I'm trying to get out in front of a doubles league. But yeah, we're gonna play a few holes, but I wanna learn this disc as fast as possible because I just know it's one of those discs I'm gonna end up throwing regardless of if I know it or not, just because like as soon as I saw it and I knew its significance, I was like, yeah, that's going straight in my bag. I'm going to be throwing that off of every tee. I already was filled with visions of grandeur. So good news is first throws with it, it seems like it actually does fly well. Now I just need to kind of learn it. One other thing I really like about this disc is I like to power grip putters, like my driving putters especially, anything I'm throwing over 200 feet, maybe 250. And this feels good for that because it's not super deep. It yeah, feels right in the power grip. So this is a great first shot for it because I just need kind of that floaty power turnover. So this should be very doable with this disc. It should be a like ideal shape. Just like that. I might have overdone that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I might have gotten a little close to the OB, but it holds that turnover shape really nice. I'll be interested to see, like, do I like it more for those long turnovers and left to right shots or more for like the hyzer flip up? Probably a little bit of both. I think I got a good kick off this big tree here. It kept me in a good spot. But this will be an interesting test because I think I've got like, gosh, at least 350 from here. So I'm going to just try and throw this as hard as I can and see like if I could reach. Because if I could reach from here, that would be pretty impressive. That's far for a putter. I would never throw putter here. Sometimes Big Z has like a bit of a slick sheen to it. It's nice this one's worn in a little bit because it's kind of gotten a little more grip to it now. Yeah, I think the baby hyzer is the play here because that hillside will kind of pull it down. We're gonna just rip on this right up the gut. Ooh, I got it over. I have to look back at that release. I'm sure I got that disc out of hyzer at the end of its flight. I think it was one of those where I came in on slight hyzer and right at the end kind of pulled it to flat. And with that hillside and that speed, it was never going to last on flat because it burned over pretty quick. But I think that was my error right there. It's never the disc's fault. Well, we dug that out of the woods. One of the great things about this disc is that it happens to be neon yellow. Don't you just hate when you get like an awesome new disc and it's like a lot of people like the black on black look, and it does look sick until it's in the woods and it's kind of dark outside. This sticks out easy. We'll give this a little ploppy upshot test. This is like the one shot I probably won't throw with this disc ever, but you never know. Little nose up floaty bid. I mean, yeah, it's a putter. It flies like one. Okay, hole 3 is like perfect for this disc. Literally a straight low hyzer flip. Like this is the one. We just need to throw that one shot we threw in the warm-up field right here. There it is. Oh my gosh, that's a beauty. Wow. Yeah, it definitely is a disc that requires a little bit of learning because I can already tell anytime you have a putter that you would describe as a truly neutral putter. So something that is very sensitive to angle, but also it'll help you in hold angles. Like I can already tell that was moderate hyzer and it held moderate hyzer. Baby hyzer is when it flips up, flat it'll turn, and anything above flat it'll kind of go way over. So I can tell there's definitely like, okay, I need to really get comfortable with certain angles on this disc because the putter I'm used to throwing right now, this is a Cash from Hooligan. It's very similar to the P3X that you've seen me throw more on this channel, and probably will still fit in the bag with this disc because it's different in the sense that it's more overstable. So I can get it to go and hyzer. I can get it to hold hyzer, but anything from flat on is going to have a pretty good fade at the end. You're never going to have that like, ooh, I threw it to flat, so now it's going to turn. And that's just, it's kind of the risk reward that comes with throwing hyzer flip type shots. But when they work out, they're just the prettiest shots in all of disc golf. So that's why we do it. I mean, just look how beautiful this super flies. Hey, the rumor is There might be a way to get a new iteration of the T-Stop Supra in the future via foundation discs. So just keep your eye on that. That was a bit high. Threw it to the exact same spot. Look at that. T-Stop Supra equivalent to yellow Special Luna. Leave a like on this video if there's a disc that resonates for you like this Luna is for me, and comment down below what that disc is like. What's the disc that you kind of treasured it just because of its significance outside of your disc golf bag before it ever even went into your disc golf bag, and then once it was in there, you were inseparable. Nice little shot here. What do you think? You think I'm gonna make that putt? I don't know about that. People get mad a lot of times about things being inside the circle, obstacles like trees, but it really is a great obstacle because it forces you to think about your shot. Okay, I don't want to get caught up on this left side. And where does that push you? Towards the OB. It really pinches you. And even once you're behind this tree, like I can putt through it. It's just more difficult. I gotta go through this little slot. And then that can happen. But it doesn't matter anyways, because for Worlds, they took away the OB on hole 3 and completely ruined it, in my opinion. So now you can just dump a forehand down there and you're never in trouble. So thanks, PDGA. So we skipped ahead again to hole 6 because this is gonna, there's a lot of dirt caked on this. I didn't do anything, I need my towel. As I was saying, this is gonna be the ultimate test because one of the best holes of disc golf I've ever played was out here. I forget what video it was, it's on the foundation channel somewhere, but I had a hybrid Judge, and the Judge is historically like my favorite overall throwing putter. And I parred, I believe it was a par, I parred this hole using just that Judge. And what that basically took was like 4 max distance, perfectly executed throws with the Judge, followed by a pretty long putt. So high expectations to see if we can do with the Luna, but I'm gonna try and make par. Bogey would be great. I mean, this is probably one of the hardest holes out there. 1,275 feet, par 5, with 2 corners that basically limit your distance dramatically. So it's not like you're just throwing straight down an alleyway until you get around the corner. And there's OB all over the place, the entire right side. All right, so this shot's important. I gotta get, it's tough to get left, that's the thing. I just kind of have to get around the corner, or at least down there. That's perfect. That is perfect. Just sit down. Okay, shot number 1, perfectly executed. You can't really get left with a putter, but at least I'm far enough down that the second and third shots are very important. I'm really glad I've had a positive experience with this putter so far because I was fully prepared to bag it no matter what, just out of principle, out of duty, if you will. But so far, I mean, I feel like I can throw those hyzer flip ups all day long with this disc. And that's great news. I'm looking forward to a long, beautiful relationship. Hopefully I don't lose it. That would be very sad. All right, this is a great tee shot. Now we just have all of that and then a bunch more. This is for sure gonna be the most important shot here because now I have to throw in the skinniest part of the hole a very long shot. I think I have to get, basically what I need to do is my second shot needs to get to me to a place to where my third shot can get around the second corner and be at least like 350 out from the island to where I have a chance. So I feel like I need to get down towards that sewer cover down there, you know, where the Ninja Turtles live. Shout out to Ninja Turtles though. What was your favorite Ninja Turtle growing up? Mine was always Raphael, and I have no idea why, because he's not very likable and he has anger issues. Like looking back on it, it's like any other turtle makes more sense. I just like the color red. All right, here we go. Turn a little bit, turn a little bit, turn a little bit. Ah! Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Unfortunately, it is gonna make me throw a hyzer next, which is not great. This disc has like, it has more stability than I think I give it credit for. I'm impressed that even that low stayed like dead straight and a little left at the end. I think we can do it, but it's just gonna be tough. This is an interesting spot because I have to make this disc go left and I can't really push it straight a ton. So I don't know. It's probably gonna end up in a situation where I have to throw an absolute hero shot for my 4th to try and get on the island. Yeah, it's got an island. Left as much as possible, but you just can't saw it off either. This is just tough. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ooh. Okay. I pushed it as far as I could. It didn't want to go super left because I kind of threw it at a hillside. But I'm happy. I think I got the maximum distance forward before getting to OB. I just didn't go super left. So it might have just canceled out. Hopefully that's okay. Okay, this is a lot better than I thought. We're looking straight at it. Maybe just a little over 300 feet. This feels very familiar to when I got this with the Judge. It's long. I mean, this is probably playing 350, slightly downhill, but I think it's reachable. And it's not, that's to the basket. I just need to clear it and get a putt. I feel like if I get the putt, I have to use this for my putter because that would just be too perfect. The question I'm asking myself right now in my head is, do I need to play something that goes up on Anheuser? I just don't think I can because I think it'll turn over. I think I just have to rip it at it on Heiser and get it to go straight. And that's a rip on that line. We're gonna try though. Putting everything I got into this one. Oh, I couldn't have thrown it any better. That's so good. Go. That's like a 25 footer. Woo, baby. Pressure's on. Believe it or not, I do all this stuff in one take. So I really expected to shank like my second or third shot into the woods and be like, I didn't do it. But here we go. This is shorter than the putt I had with the Judge. To par the hardest hole in the area with just one disc. Just don't leave it short. That would be devastating. Oh, I pulled it. Oh, no par today. Well, at least I can feel like the putter did its part. I really want to give hole 7 a try here because this is a hole where it's a par 5, but putt is like actually the preferred play here. We're going to try and throw like that slight left to right shot, not full power off the tee to get to the corner and see how that works. It's just going to be probably like a 70-80% left to right shot. Oh, I grip locked it. Oh no. That hooked onto my pointer finger harder than I think I've ever felt a disc hook on in my entire life. Yikes, that was bad. I gotta go find that disc. Well, I dragged this thing out of the woods. Gosh, I will say, once you attach yourself to a disc, looking for said disc, especially when you didn't have a great idea where it went into the woods, it's heart racing because you're kind of thinking to yourself, like, there's a lot of discs. If I can't find it for a few minutes, I'm like, well, worst case scenario, I don't get it back, bummer. But with something like this, I'm like, I will be here an indefinite amount of time until I find it. The sun could set tonight and I'm just gonna have to start a campfire. But we have it, and I've moved it here to the fun shot of this hole because this isn't the Pro Tour and I want to throw the fun shot. I'm gonna throw it in. How about that? This is actually, I don't know if this shot's far enough for me to throw a hyzer and get it to flip. I might have to just throw it flat and let it fade. We'll go like baby, a little bit hyzer. Grip locked it again. That's 2 of those in a row. I've noticed, okay, so what's interesting, and this is really not a Luna thing, but just a me thing, is that's 2 shots in a row I've tried to power down on the disc, and my power grip has gotten a little in the way of it. So I think regardless of how comfy it feels in the power grip, if I'm trying to throw something that's a little more touchy, it just doesn't really work with I gotta fan grip it. That's just how it is. We'll throw the cash just for a little retribution. We'll fan grip it. That's a little better. Look at that thing fade though. Oof. That thing's got some bite. Alrighty, well, hole 9 has this really wide open field, so it's time to officially cut this loose on a full distance line, and we're just gonna assess its max distance potential. I'm hoping for over 350. We'll see what we can get. I mean, I'm throwing this as hard as I can. I mean, was that the most max distance flight? No, but I did get a hold of it, so we'll see how far that went. I can probably just throw another one because the next shot will be just as wide open. All right, after measuring this one, now granted, U-disc distance is not perfect, but this shot came in at right around 350 feet. It was pretty much on the dot, so I think I can get past it if I get a little more flight out of the disc. So I'm gonna rip another one in that direction Might be slightly uphill, but there's a little tailwind, so it should cancel out. All right, here we go. Let's try and get this one a little higher maybe, or just not quite as Anheuser. That's actually better. I feel like I threw that on a better line, but I don't know if I got a hold of it as much. That'll probably be pretty similar. Yeah, that last shot went about exactly the same distance. Hole 10 here is 439, but it's downhill with the tailwind. I don't think I can get there, but I want to see how close I can get if I go straight at it. As hard as I can throw this. I threw it as good as I could. Get between the trees. Oh, it got past the trees too. Oh, caught the last one. I will say the putter distance thing is a dangerous game, because if you throw in any kind of slower disc, like a putter or a mid-range, they kind of just have, like, they're built for this, but they have so much more drag than a driver that they're just kind of meant to slow down at a certain speed. So you can keep trying to throw them further and further, and that's not what they're built for. It's not what they want to do. So sometimes you start really trying to push out putters. Like one time Hunter and I did a thing where we were trying to throw a mid-range 400, and it was just the most defeating thing, because you'd pump it out there and the disc would just kind of hit the brakes, and it's like, well, that is sort of what it's meant to do. It's why it is the way it is. Tunnel shots, not a problem. Okay. They're a problem. This is the hole I've really been looking forward to, hole 12, because I think this is perfect. Basically just rip a hyzer flip out the gap, let it slowly fade left. I think this disc is like perfect for this shot, because I think I can get there with a putter if I throw it well enough. So I really hope I hit this line. Oh, I kind of went straight at it. That wasn't the plan. Dang it. Hate when that happens. I'm just gonna throw my 10-time rock to make me feel better. That didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. It's getting humid out here. I get out here as early as I can and it just doesn't even matter. I am very much sick of summer in Virginia right now. All right, I should be able to birdie 15 back-to-back putters. So let's try to get back on the track here. That's a little bit left. That's fine. I'm starting to get a little fatigued. You rip on putters all day and you use a lot of arm strength. The bee always flying over this disc because it looks like a giant flower to pollinate, I guess. I don't even know why I'm gonna act like I don't have to dry this off. It's slicker than ice. Doesn't matter how good the plastic is. If it's wet, soaking wet, that's no good. That's nice. Go in the basket. Go in the basket. Ooh, I think that was perfect. You know, I just had kind of a terrifying thought about this disc. I'll be honest. If you follow Foundation, which I'm sure if you watch this, you follow Foundation, you know that I had the Shark 3 in my bag, my beloved Shark 3, and it was, for better or worse, bullied out of my bag, essentially. Basically, every time I threw it bad, you know, the chirping began. It was immediately, it created this whole thing. In any case, I'm a firm believer that, I thought that was rain. I'm a firm believer that if my friends want to bully any disc out of my bag, any single one, all they have to do is talk bad about it every time I throw it bad, because I'll throw every disc bad eventually. And then as they continue to do that, I feel more pressure to throw good with it, and makes me throw worse. I'm not saying that's necessarily what happened with the Shark. It was, but they could do it with any disc they want. And I feel like because this disc is the object of my eye, and also because it's a disc that has to be thrown on hyzer, so it's something that isn't my biggest strength in disc golf. I'm better at throwing the disc flat. And because I traditionally throw putters pretty well, if I throw this thing bad, like the first day I use it in front of them, I already know what's going to happen. It's going to be the same Shark. It's going to be Shark 3 all over again. And I just need to be mentally prepared to not necessarily fight back, but just try to let it roll off the shoulders, because this thing's never coming out of my bag. You'll have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And let me know in the comments down below if you're coming out to Worlds. I'd love to see you at Worlds. I'll be around all week long. So hope to see you then. And I will see you on this channel next Monday.